Hey guys, I'm here with strategy number 2 for our Rockin' Review, and it's called Fixer Upper. And I love this strategy, not just because I love the show, but it's because of how deeply it makes the students think. And this is for the type of questions that students make those careless mistakes. And we call this strategy is for careless questions. It's when they fell for the answer choice that's the first step instead of going through and solving the second step. Perhaps they solved for area instead of perimeter. Those silly mistakes that they can easily fall for because we know it's always going to be an answer choice. So how Fixer Upper works is the main point to it is at first you're going to actually just go through the question, you're going to solve it, model strategies with your students, solve it together, but then you're going to challenge them further and you're going to ask them to choose an answer choice that is incorrect and rewrite the question to make it correct. For example, for this, C was the correct answer. However, many students fell for D. And for D, it's just they had the first step correct. They knew that they needed to do 3 times something, but then they divided instead of multiplying. So they start the same, but then they fell for the incorrect operation. So what you could do is I would suggest starting by assigning D as the answer choice you put right here. And then it says, how can you make the wrong right? So then you put the wrong answer choice here. And then here inside the house, they have to rewrite the question to where now D would be the correct answer choice. So I love the deep thinking, and it goes more into this, the stimulus and visuals. Are there any? In this case, there aren't really visuals besides the equation. However, looking at how this TEAK can be tested, it can also be strip diagrams. So just looking at that for in the future, if you want to use this, you're going to be using this for more than one question and one TEAK. We're going to be using these 3 strategies throughout the review. Are there any important words that would make a difference? And once again, the directions to this that are more detailed are in the Rockin' Review folder, actually under Careless for each TEAK. So literally this paper has the directions right with it. So you can find that. But I hope this is just helpful. I'm just giving a quick little overview of the main key points to these strategies. Once again, there are more detailed instructions, but I'm just kind of want to give a quick overview how to do Fixer Upper. It's a fun one. It's going to make them stop and think. And then also, if you got those high achiever, those high GT, challenge them for A and B as well. Like this is the one they all fell for. But then we can even get their thinking further and see, well, how on earth could we react this question to where one of these were true? So what's great about this is you can have them literally do it for all 3 answer choices if you have a quick finisher, which I love. And this should take a while and some deep thinking and digging into the TEAK. So I hope this is helpful. Hey everyone, I'm here with our first strategy from the Rockin' Review, and it's called Rock and Roll. And this strategy is for the questions that students are clueless on. Basically, I'm looking at 4.5A for 4th grade, which it's all operations and problem solving. It's representing all operations and problem solving, which is a tough one anyways. But what it means to be a clueless question is looking at data from the state of Texas. Literally, it's like the kids just closed their eyes and picked an answer choice. It was just spread all over the place, the percentage that chose A, B, C, or D. It was pretty apparent that they just didn't even know how to start with this type of question. So we have categorized the 2019 question number 5 as a clueless question. And this is the best strategy that we would recommend for these types of questions, and it's called Rock and Roll. The only thing you need for this is this page, front and back, and I'll show you the back in just a second, and dice. That's it. So it's very little prep. You'll just need this card. I like to create them into little cards, the questions. You can do it how you want, but you'll just only need this one question and this page front and back right here in dice. And so what the students will do is they'll be in a small group, like maybe 3, 4, and they'll roll the dice. And so let's say I roll a 1. It says, what are 3 important details about the problem? Well, it is my job in my group to write down 3 important details, and you can have them discuss it as a group. Up to you how you want to approach any of these games, really and truly. Tailor them to meet your students' needs. And then another student can roll, where they all can roll at the same time, up to you, and they'll roll a few times. And then what you can have them do is, if not all are filled in after they roll, so let's say there's 3 in the group and they each roll 1 time, then you can have them go to another group if you want and look for somebody who rolled and filled out a number that they did not roll. It's up to you how you want to do this. If you want to get them up and moving and exchanging ideas, I recommend that. If you're more, I want them to just stay with their group because it was a very intentional group, you can do that as well. But basically it's just guiding questions. It's going to help them attack the question. It's helping them guide through their thinking, what's confusing about the problem. I mean, it could be that the actual strip diagram is confusing about it, and then they can stop in their group and they can talk about that. They will work through each of these and discuss, and eventually, once everything is filled out and once they've discussed everything, they will attack the problem. And then, of course, you can go over a whole group with your students once they've gone through this process. You can also walk them through as well and model this for them. But this is a fun way to really get them thinking deeper and having those guiding questions for them. Because if they're clueless, they don't even know where to start. You've got to give them a starting point. And this is a great starting point. What does the problem want you to answer? That's a huge thing right there. So it's really just walking them through that problem-solving process. Also using our Raise Give Me 5 would work as well, of course. But so this is basically for the clueless questions. Just a quick strategy for you for that, for our review. And this would be for 4th grade, for 4-5A problem solving representing. So I hope that you find this helpful and useful, and we're here if you have any further questions. The directions are also dropped in the 4-5A folder under Clueless Strategy 1. Under any TEAC, Strategy 1 will be Clueless. And so the instructions are there for you as well if you have any questions.